Over the last couple of years, there's been a massive growth in the crypto space in terms of users, in terms of money, and in terms of auctions, because auctions are a big part of the crypto space. We see digital arts like NFTs, we see domain names, we see token launches. All of these different sales are auctions. And in the crypto space, we use traditional formats that really aren't designed for Web3. Like the traditional auction format is not designed for Web3 because there's front running, there's bots, there's all of these issues that have come about in Web3 that just traditional auctions never have. So with GBM, it's a project I've been looking into a lot recently. It's the next generation auction protocol, and it is a decentralized auction protocol for the on-chain era, for Web3. And then in GBM's win-win auctions, where basically everyone wins, every bid matters, and even losing bidders are paid for participating. And that's something that's really cool because with GBM, they currently have just nearly 10,000 followers on X. They've been growing very quickly, and you can see that a lot of companies are already using GBM as a provider, like Vision.io. Vision.io has their own branded auction that is launched for the auction festival, but they're using GBM as like the back end to help set up the entire auction. So this is something that is really cool because GBM, it doesn't have its own marketplace, but they have a lot of standalone auctions like Vision.io, where you can currently see a lot of things are being auctioned off on. And so with this platform, GBM, it's built on Base, and the protocol removes botting, it removes fake bids, and it protects against predatory auction mechanics from like whether it's digital art like NFTs, domain names, whether it's token launches. Like ultimately GBM enables on-chain auctions that are transparent, fair, and engaging. And you can see they talk about it right here. GBM is the native Web3 auction standard driven by participation, powered by protocol, and embedded in future of on-chain markets. So unlike traditional markets where only the highest bidder benefits, their innovative win-win model ensures that everyone who participates gets rewarded. If you're outbid, you get your bid back plus an incentive for bidding in the first place. And so if we click on learn more, you bring it to their docs section, and you can see exactly how this works. So it says, in the GBM auction, every bidder gets rewarded, not just the winner. This transforms auctions into high engagement, high efficiency tools for uncovering true market value. And whether you're like a creator, builder, collector, or trader, it offers a new way to sell and acquire assets. So if we're looking at how the auction works, you can see the first bid makes $100 when outbid. It says the first bidder makes $100 when outbid. The second bidder makes $200 when outbid. That incentive is not paid as the third bidder wins the auction. It shows you exactly if the third bid is the winning bid, exactly how the incentives are paid out. So in the way it works, the first step is you place the amount you want to bid. Every time you place a bid, it's fully funded, meaning you send the funds on chain to the GBM smart contract when you place your bid. So as soon as you place a bid, you have to send the money. If someone places a higher bid, you get 100% of your bid back plus an incentive reward. The exact incentive amount is shown to you before you confirm your bid, and you can go ahead and see all the details on the marketplace. If you go ahead and look at all the different auctions they have going on, you can go ahead and see exactly how that works. Let's just go to this one, for example. We click on bid now. If we go ahead and put in a certain bid, let's say like 1 ETH, it says you will earn 0.2 ETH if outbid, so 20%. And you can also click on learn more, and it'll show you exactly how it works. It says GBM is a win-win auction. When you place a bid, the GBM formula calculates how much money you will earn if you are outbid. Every bidder that gets outbid earns an incentive, and the highest bidder at the end of the auction wins, with the seller receiving what is left in the pot. So it shows you exactly how much you receive. If you bid, let's say 1 ETH on this auction and you're outbid, you would receive 0.2 ETH just for, being part of the auction. So you can see all of the details on their marketplace. If you look at just all of the different bids and auctions that are currently live, you can just check out any of these and it'll show you whether incentives are degen, whether the incentives are low, whether the incentives are like medium. So if we click on degen, we can click bid now for this one, and you can see up to 20% if you're outbid. So every single one, you can see the difference of what you bid, and if you are outbid, what you would earn. And every single auction is different, but it's clear, transparent, talks all about this. So if we look at back at the documents section, the cool thing about GBM is it's positioning itself as like the future of auctions. it says GBM, a new kind of auction. And the thing with this is that it talks about how problems with traditional auction formats are that there's front-running vulnerabilities. It's a winner-takes-all outcome, poor price discovery, unfulfilled bids, high bidder regrets. Like unfulfilled bids is a big problem because if people don't actually end up sending the money, it causes like failed or delayed settlements, inefficient auction speed, meaning it's, dragged out unnecessarily, low engagement, no gamification. With GBM, there's no front running. There's not a winner takes all because everyone wins. Superior price discovery, no failed settlements because the money's sent up front, less bidder regret, greater efficiency, more engaging. You see all these things that really help with like that social aspect of auctions, and with GBM like redefining how auctions are made in general. If we go ahead and click on GBM incentives, you can see how the low preset has a minimum of 0.5%, max return of 2%, medium preset 0.5% to 5%, high preset 1% to 10%, and degen preset 2% to 20%. And you can see all of these at the marketplace. When you look at the marketplace, you'll see if it says low, medium, degen, there's also that high. So you can see all of the different ones here. And whenever you click on them, it'll show you exactly the incentive for that particular auction. Now, if we look at the starting bids, it says we usually recommend no starting bid to maximize participation and price discovery. And that is something that they also, promote and talk about because it allows anyone to get involved and really ensures that people who want to get involved in these auctions, there's no like barrier of entry. In addition to this, it talked about reserve prices in the GBM cancellation period. GBM auctions don't use traditional reserve prices. Instead, they offer a smarter, more flexible alternative, the GBM cancellation period. And if this is enabled, this feature gives the seller a short window after the auction ends to accept the final bid or cancel the sale if it doesn't meet their expectations. And if the seller cancels, they must pay a cancellation fee that covers all incentive debt, ensuring every outbid bidder receives their incentive to the winning bidder, a full refund of the winning bid, and the GBM protocol auction fee plus any other fees set by the auction house publisher. So this works because it gives the seller a fair way out if the price isn't right for them, and because the cancellation isn't free, it discourages like abuse and protects bidders and keeps the system, to ensure that people can really go about placing bids, knowing that if they have the highest, it's most likely that they're going to be able to get it. So if we're just looking at GBM, they have a lot of auctions going on right now. They're going to have major partnerships coming up, which they've talked about over on X. You can see all the details of this platform, but really they're changing the game for auctions. There's a lot of major accounts talking about them. For example, like their GBM auction festival. If we click on this, you can see it isn't just any event. This is a wall-to-wall extravaganza with winning at its core. We've got giveaways, competitions, auctions, and an airdrop. It says don't let 2.5% of the GBM token supply surpass you. And if we look at this, during this auction festival airdrop, which is going on right now, they just posted about it yesterday, you can earn points during the festival period. Your tokens will be based on your share of total community points. So during the auction festival, you earn points. Bidding 1 point per $1, you winning points, so 4x points per $1 of potential incentive value, and selling points equal to the total incentives generated by bidders. So unlike traditional auctions, they're all about making sure it's a win-win situation where everyone can benefit. And if you're just looking at their website, it shows all about this and how they're really promoting this. They have a lot of case studies in the past, whether it's with Sandbox or with like Song a Day, or with Cryptograph. You could see Unstoppable Domains. All of these major clients have worked with GBM before, and I'm expecting big things for them. Right now, they're in the festival airdrop period. They just announced this the other day, and this is going to, like the auction festival period, this is just announced the other day, and this is going to ensure even more activity and even more growth of their ecosystem. So it's definitely worth checking out. They've seen over 70,000 auctions to date. They've been 6 million plus earned by bidders, and their design is for encouraging more participants, more revenue, more fun. It gamifies like the bidding and auction process rather than just if you bid, you win, and if you don't like have the winning bid, then you lose. They try to reinvent all of this already, and they've really done a pretty successful job. So go ahead, check out their website, take a look at the auctions in the auction festival, or follow them on socials. I'll put all the links in the description.